Kia ora matua, kia ora whānau. This is my ara matua 3 for Te Pia, mile 143. And it's but a kōrero which was passed down to me from my uncles, from my reti whānau. This is my Ngāti Wai side, so from my mother's whakapapa, the reti whānau from Ngāti Wai. Now, basically the story is about where actually the Ngāti Wai whānau come from. And from the kōrero was passed through to me, it was actually from the battles, the musket wars, the land battles of New Zealand, and hence the reason why I've got, I started off my pūrākau with Hongi Hika. And as most people know, Hongi Hika was very self-driven. He was very motivated by the introduction of the European settlers into Aotearoa. And I've got along my Bible, the kōrero.
Thank you.
And a lot of the history, or part of the history is in here in regards to his motivation and what he was there, really his purpose of why we had these battles of the muskets. Hence we've got this image here. This whakapapa line here is obviously for Hongi Hika, not necessarily directly to Te Reti Mana Whānau, was descended from Rahiri. And you can see all the names along here is actually cousins with Hone Heke, Patuone, Tāmati Wakanini, and Pōmare, which are the two. So Pōmare and Hongi Hika are the couple of the main characters of my story. And for me, what I learnt in He Kōrero was the reasons of where his dream of going through and battling throughout Aotearoa, and where that drive had come from. And I assumed through myself is that it was a drive to uplift his mana. I read that previously before Marsden Ma had settled here, that he actually lost a huge battle to Ngāti Whātua. And as we do with the mana, and especially within males, we have the pride of regaining that mana. And so with the opportunity of all this new technology coming here in Aotearoa and seeing the advancements that Pākehā had, especially when he witnessed it, looking at the number of cannons and muskets that were stored in the Tower of London, for me, I could see a lot of fear would have been in his eyes, and the idea, well, to uplift or to carry the mana of my iwi, I better come along and join this technology and become a part of it and start negotiating, and that's hence his treaty or his the treaty he signed, or the agreement he signed to sign over 30,000 acres of land up in Kirikiri in trade of these 14 axes, but really that there was still that notion that he actually also gained those 2,000 muskets, or have a number of muskets there were. So that's the start of the story. So during these battles of the muskets, what's said was the first ever, according to this story here, this image here, was that there was a great battle in Moriminui in 1807, or around about 1807, where it was said that this was the first battle between Ngāpuhi tribes and the Kaipara tribes, where muskets were first used to win that battle. So some images of muskets, and here there's an image of him making that as a rate, or for me, this is him depicting Hongi Hika starting to create a relationship with the European settlers, and some more images of fighting. And none of these images are directly of what happened with my people, but I just put it to illustrate what would have been seen during that time. So as he's travelled down from the north all the way way down, he actually ended up having a battle in Tauranga district, and this is where my whānau come into play. Now, they had a battle down there in Tauranga and annihilated them, and I made a note of the fear that would have been shown on the faces of the Tauranga people, not being unfamiliar with this new technology. Ohorere te whatu manua, tūmeka rawa te āhua, me te kitenga I tēnei, the smoke coming out of this unusual looking stick would have been quite overwhelming for those people, and they were annihilated, or with that unfair advantage of having muskets, they beat the Tauranga people. And a custom of the Ngāpuhi, I'm not sure of Ngāpuhi, but custom of some of our people was to capture some of those that have fallen. I'm not sure for slavery or to do mahi for them. There was also what I call an insurance policy, which they used to then breed with the people that they captured, so that if in time Utu would then turn back and Tauranga people would then go back up and battle them, they would be killing their own people. So that's what they did. Hongihika and Pōmare went down there in Tauranga, and Pōmare took with him, her name was Amari, and she was the highborn or blue blood daughter of Chief Muatuka, and he took with him her as his spoils, and at the time she was very young, Ramari, and so he took her up, intended to have children, bear children with him, or with her to as his own, because she was of high rank. However, Muatuka and his people needed some hope, and so he sent up his warrior, Hakarai Te Heke. That's not Hakarai Te Heke, however, that's just me symbolising Hakarai Te Heke. So he sent him up there, one of his fierce warriors, to try and capture. Now, remembering we didn't have horses back in those days, so they go all the way from Tauranga by foot with all your people, your supplies, obviously your kai, your weapons. Had to go up, travel all the way up to the north to try and find Ramari, who had settled in actually Waikato River with Pōmare at the time. Now these are kōrero passed down to me, so if I'm wrong, I'd love to be corrected, but this is the stories I've been hearing, which I was passed down from my uncles. So Hakarai Te Heke travelled all the way through the forest and got up to Waikato River where he found her, so he obviously knew what he was doing, and had a huge battle there. That's why I've got another image there in the centre of the storyline. Had a battle then, and apparently was victorious. And thought, okay, I better. So they won the battle, and his tono from his ariki, his chief Muatuka, was to bring her back. And by this time, so she was actually mature, a very beautiful woman, and he actually was swept away from her by her beauty, and actually fell in love with her. And knowing that he wasn't of chiefly rank, he actually decided to settle there with her as opposed to taking her down. So, and my theory was Muatuka probably thought he died in battle, but really he actually stayed there, won and stayed there, and kept her for himself. And hence they married. They had 3 tamariki, which I'll refer back to my cue cards. The tamariki that they had there were where was Hana, Te Reti Mana, which is their son, and then they also had a daughter, Kate. Now Te Reti Mana is where my whānau, my Reti whānau or Reti whānau come from, according to the stories I heard, and we descend from her. So Tūpapa A, who mentioned that Kupe is the older brother of Puhi, so Aomatena, so also your brother as well. According to this story, I actually descend from the Mātātua as well. So we're brothers. But that's just a little joke. So they settled in Waikato River, and there's a little map there of where Waikato River is. So they're married there, and this is an image of my reti whānau, reti mana whānau, in Whanagao Marae, o te tau Reti Marae, which my great-grandfather built just over 50 years ago. So, and our pepea's monoa rao ko Ngaiatonga ngā maunga, Punaruku te awa, Whangaruru te moana, ko Māhuhu ki te rangirao ko Mātātua ngā waka, Ngauri o Hikiku te hapu, Ngāti Wai te iwi, and ko Manaia rao ko Rangi Hokaia ngā tūpuna Tihei Mauri ora.
Kia koe.
He wai?
Te wai?
Oh, he wai. Yeah. Ngāti wai ki uta, Ngāti wai ki tai, Ngāti wai ki uta, Ngāti wai ki tai ki whangaruru. O titiro ki te manura, erere mai erere rā, e tohu wai mari e, he tohu pai no Ngāti wai. Ngāti wai ki uta, Ngāti wai ki tai, Ngāti wai ki uta, Ngāti wai ki tai, ki whangaruru. Hey.
Kia ora, wai.
Oh, that's great.
Kia ora.